Hey, my name's Alex, and this channel you're watching right now pulls millions of views every single day. We just hit 100,000 subs last week, and this channel alone pays me thousands of dollars per week. And no, I don't show my face, I barely edit, and I'm definitely not grinding 12 hours a day. But it wasn't always like this. A year ago, nothing was working. I was posting random shorts, praying one would blow up, then restarting every time the next one would die out. I was stuck in that same 30,000 view jail that you're probably stuck in right now, where everything hits the same ceiling and you have no idea why. I didn't have a system, I didn't have direction, and I definitely didn't understand what the algorithm actually wanted. Everything changed when I built a repeatable process, a system that turned YouTube shorts from guessing and hoping into something predictable, something I could duplicate across multiple channels and turn into real, consistent income streams. And in this full breakdown, I'm going to walk you step by step through that exact system. The same one that took me from posting blindly to running multiple channels that print millions of views and daily cash flow on command. If you follow what I'm about to teach, you'll walk away with a complete roadmap to break out of the plateau you're stuck in, stop guessing every upload, and finally build a channel that grows consistently instead of randomly. I'm going to show you each part of the system exactly as it is on board so you understand how the whole machine works from start to finish. And this is not a theory. This is the exact framework I used to scale multiple channels, and the same one my students are using right now to get their first viral videos, stack millions of views, and start earning thousands per month with faceless content, even if they've failed before. And it's not just me. This is one of my students, Jax. Not too long ago, he was stuck exactly where you are. 30,000 view jail, confused and unsure if shorts was ever going to work out for him. Fast forward to October 2025, he made over $8,000 in a single month from one channel. And here's the crazy part. He's not special. He's not some editing genius. He just followed the structure I gave him, and now he has multiple channels paying him every single month. So if you apply this properly, this will be the clearest pathway you've ever seen to building reliable income on YouTube without needing to show your face or invest thousands of dollars up front. And here's why this matters right now. Short form content is the fastest growing media format on this planet. Billions of views every single day. And YouTube is pushing shorts harder than every other feature they've ever released. Creators who understand the system get rewarded. We keep people on the platform, YouTube pays us. And that's how these channels print thousands of dollars per week. People think they're too late. You're not. If anything, the opportunity is actually a lot bigger than it's ever been. Once you understand how this works, YouTube becomes one of the simplest ways to build a cash flow engine online. And if you're someone who wants to make money online without showing their face, without expensive software, without needing a massive team, then this is genuinely the best opportunity you will get. All right, that's enough yapping. Let's just get straight into it. So, the first thing you're gonna want to do when you're even considering making a YouTube channel for shorts is you're gonna want to have an old channel. Okay, so I see a lot of people on here, they're making a brand new YouTube account and they're posting a video and boom, they get hit with the 0 view jail. And for some reason that happens because when you post a video on YouTube and you post it on a brand new account, YouTube will literally shadow ban your videos. This is called the 0 view jail. So what you can do instead, just find that old YouTube channel you've been using since you were in middle school, the one that you always watched videos on, and start uploading on it. Just rebrand it and start uploading on it. If you don't have an old channel, what you can do is get your old Gmail account you have and create a new channel. All you need to do on that is go on YouTube, then click on your profile right here, and then you're going to click on switch account. After you click that, go to view all channels. If you don't have this button, go ahead and go on your YouTube profile again, but this time click on settings. Once you're over here, click on add or manage your channels. Then you're going to be brought up to this screen and all you need to do is click create a new channel. And as long as you're making it on an old Gmail, this should be good. All right, so once you have your new YouTube account, you're not going to want to go ahead and post straight away. What you're going to want to start doing is aging your account, because if you post right now, you're most likely going to get into that 0 view jail. So this is all you really need to do to age your account. It's pretty simple. A lot of people overcomplicate it, but here's all you need to do. So first thing you're going to want to do is engage with content. Okay, you're going to want to just watch random videos that are in your For You page that you're interested in. Then you're just going to want to like them, just comment on posts, and then you're going to want to do this for like 2 hours a day. I would repeat this process for a few days every single week. And then after you do that, if you post, you're most likely not going to get 0 view jailed. And you're just going to want to repeat this process up until when you post, you're actually not 0 view jailed anymore. This happens because when you just have a brand new YouTube account, YouTube thinks you're a bot. So how you counteract this is you start engaging on their platform. If you're watching this and thinking, yeah, that actually makes sense, I can literally walk you through finding a niche and setting up your first channel on a call one-on-one together. So there's a link below if you want to apply. So after you're done aging your account, this is where it's time to work on your branding. So a lot of people overcomplicate this. They spend lots of hours on branding their channels, but honestly, you don't need to do that much. So here's some good names I think people are using. So this is a channel called Football Essence. I really like it because it's just 2 simple words and they're put in together with simple spelling. And also you want to find a YouTube name that the tag is also available along with the name. So I like this, guys. Here's also another good example, Mr. Potta. I think he posts Harry Potter edits, something like that. I'm not sure, but I think his name is pretty clean. It just has a period and it's the same as his handle, so that's good. You always want your name to be matching with your handle. If not, just take a bit of extra time to find a name that's pretty clean and actually matches with your handle. Then you're going to want to spend some time working on your profile picture. So here's a pretty good example. I think this guy, Jack Neal, has pretty good branding. You can see his main color is red, black, and then a little bit of white. And also he has like this skull in his logo and his N looks like a blade. And he carries the same thing into his banner. By the way, if you don't know how to make banners or profile pictures, all you really need is Photopea. If you head over to photopea.com, all you need to do is click new project, and then you'll be able to click on YouTube profile or YouTube cover. This right here is the banner, and this will be your profile picture. Then you can just create. And what I would suggest doing, if you don't want to spend a lot of time on making a profile picture or banner, all you can do is just put like the first letter of your name. So let's say if my channel is called Football Clips, all I would do is just take a text layer, put it on here, and put FC for Football Clips. Then I would just make it bigger, put it in the middle, and then you can just add any colors you want, or you can go ahead here and just change the font to anything you like. I think this font is pretty cool, so I'm just going to center it like that, and then you just click File and then Export. And then boom, you'll have your profile picture. And then you can just do the same thing for your banner, and then just stick with a few colors for your color scheme. You don't got to go all crazy for it. I would choose just like 1 or 2 or 3 simple colors. Okay, so the next step is pretty important for you to do, and that is verifying your account. Because if you don't verify your account, you're not going to be able to get monetized. You're not going to be able to use a lot of features like pinning your videos or adding related videos in your shorts. So like when you're watching on YouTube Shorts, you can add links to your other shorts, so that'll get people to click on them and they'll just keep watching all your shorts over and over. But if you don't have verification, you can't use that. And all you really got to do is put in your phone number and then just put in your ID or a video verification. And this is how you find it. Just go over to your YouTube profile, click on YouTube Studio, then you're going to want to click on your settings tab right here. After that, click on channel, then click on feature eligibility. And boom, right here you can verify all your stuff. I already have all mine verified, but make sure you guys do this, because if not, you're going to be missing out on a lot of key features. All right, so we just went over the entire making / aging your account, and that's basically everything you need to know to actually start your account so you can start posting. So after you follow the first step, the next step is choosing a niche. Okay, this is very important. If you choose a raw niche that you don't like or that doesn't pull that many views, you're going to be stuck and you're going to feel like you're in a jail. So make sure you take this part with full seriousness and make sure you guys listen carefully. So the number one thing I recommend everyone is to make what they post about one of their interests. That could be movies and shows, going to the gym, gaming, or even brain rot scrolling. Okay, you can literally just take like compilations of random TikToks that you watch, put them together, put an AI voiceover, and boom, you have a video. So if you're like addicted to scrolling on TikTok, you might as well take action and take all those TikToks you watch and just put them into compilations and start posting them. But obviously you got to add a voiceover or something, because if you just start posting this right away, you're going to get demonetized because you're going to get striked for not using original content. But if you don't really have any interests that you like and you think that your interests are not going to be good for YouTube Shorts, the next thing for you is going to be finding your niche, okay? So all you need to do is go into an incognito window and go onto YouTube, all right? So once you're on YouTube, this is going to be fresh. You're going to have no history on here. You're going to want to click on Shorts, okay? And now the goal is to find something that you think you could recreate or something that interests you, and then take inspiration and start a channel similar to it. But the thing is, you're going to want to find a channel that actually has over 100,000 views per video pretty consistently. So obviously this is something we can't recreate because this is like real life. We'd have to get our friends together. So let's just keep scrolling. We can't recreate this. Some people actually do clipping. Let's click on this channel. As you can see, they're getting actually really good views per video. This one has 500,000, 700,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 200,000, 900,000, 100,000. And they're getting pretty consistent views. And this is totally doable. All you got to do is get clips of, like, I know these girls do TikTok. All you got to do, get clips from their streams, clip it up, and post it on YouTube. And the thing about YouTube, a lot of people think if you clip streamers, you won't be able to get monetized, but that's not true. If you're actually clipping down the streams, adding text on the videos, adding music, and actually making it transformative, you will be able to get monetized. And you can see this channel is absolutely crushing it. They have 28 million, 25 million, 15 million. And overall on their channel, they have 250 million views. That's around $30,000 in revenue they made just from clipping these streamers. So yeah, don't forget, just go to an incognito window, go on Shorts, scroll until you find something you like and you think you can recreate. Make sure they're getting good views every video, and that's how you find your killer niche. By the way, in my opinion, these are the top 3 best niches right now to start. So the first one is AI commentary. AI commentary is where you basically get any kind of video. This could literally be any video in the entire world, and then you just write down a script and generate a voiceover with 11 Labs. I'll go more over about the 11 Labs and script writing part later in this video, but that's what basically AI commentary is you just put an AI voiceover over a video, and then it's transformative because it has a voiceover over it. Also, this niche right here has been popping off recently, Roblox rant commentary. It's basically where people just have videos of like Roblox parkour, and then they just talk about drama or updates or opinions over the gameplay. It has a huge audience cap for it and not that high competition. And these type of videos get insane retention, so I would definitely try this out. And I know the third one might be a little bit surprising, but if you target kids with Roblox kids content, you can get massive views on your videos because there are a lot of kids on YouTube Shorts. I think most of the platform is kids watching on YouTube Shorts. So if you target them with like random Roblox videos, I know Roblox is really popular for kids right now. Even my little brothers watch Roblox. So that's how I know this niche is doing really well. Sometimes I even pull up to the family function and I just see all my little cousins watching Roblox videos on their little iPads. It's really simple to make. You want to have more higher energy edits. Some people say there's decent RPM, but by my knowledge, a lot of them are watching on their parents' accounts, and YouTube thinks that older people are watching this. So then they actually give you a higher CTR because YouTube gives more money to the older audience you have, if that makes sense. And there's also ridiculous growth potential because kids content, like I said earlier, just has so many kids consuming it. It's actually crazy. So I'll definitely consider trying this one out if you're going to try any of them. This part is where 99% of beginners fail. Most guys can never pick a niche that actually goes viral. So if you literally want me to give you the best niches that are popping off right now, apply below and I will help you one-on-one personally. So if you're still not certain what niche you want to upload in, here's some advice for you. So if you're a beginner, you're going to want to niche down. You're going to want to go into something very specific. For example, if you're doing AI commentary, instead of doing AI commentary of just general videos, you're going to want to niche down to a specific topic. So you can do like AI commentary videos, but only a certain type of niche. So like you can make an AI commentary about keyboards or like e-bikes, or scooters or something like that. You're going to want to niche down, because like that, it's going to be a lot easier to find your target audience. So then you'll be getting more consistent views. But if you're like really good at editing, you're good at making shorts, you're good at pulling in views, what I would do is compete with the bigger YouTubers. So I would choose a niche that has more competition, but has a lot higher market for people. And for example, some things could be like movies and shows clipping, or even streamer clipping like iShowSpeed or Marlon or other streamers like that. Because if you're really good, you're going to be able to outperform your competition and then steal all the viewers and then pool in millions and millions of views, which equals into thousands of dollars. Okay, so after you pick your niche, this is a lot of part what people spend hours on, but honestly you don't need to, because TikTok exists. So this is how you find media for your niche. There's two ways to go about this: TikTok or YouTube Shorts. I actually usually use both. So all you do is go on TikTok, then you click on this explore button. I think it's only available on the desktop version. I'm not really sure, because I don't use mobile TikTok too much, but you guys can find out if it's on mobile. I'm not sure. But anyways, click on explore and boom, you're on this main section where there's thousands of videos you can scroll from. So let's say if you're in the cat niche, boom, you found a cat video. You're in the AI cat niche, boom, you found an AI cat video. You're in the commentary niche about like cool Rubik's Cube moments, boom, you found a Rubik's Cube clip. And the options just go on forever. You can even go up here and there's little niches you can choose from, and you can scroll through them, and there's so many. Let's say I want to go to food videos, boom, we have only food videos that we can choose from. Then let's say, for example, you find your video, boom, look, there's just like, this guy has like 10 hot dogs on his thing. All you do is just copy the link, then you go to a TikTok downloader, then you paste your link, and then you download the video. Make sure you always download it in the highest quality. Here's another way to find clips, but this time it's using YouTube Shorts. This one takes a little bit longer to do, but you're essentially going to want to train your YouTube to show you the videos that you want. So when you just start your YouTube account, just start watching a certain type of video, start liking them, start commenting on them, and once you do that, YouTube will only recommend you that certain type of content. So I used to post gym content on this channel, and as you can see, it's still showing me gym content to this day. And you can just keep scrolling and I'll keep finding gym content on the shorts sections. So yeah, this one's a bit harder to do, but once you actually train your YouTube to show you what you want it to show, after that, it takes pretty fast to find your clips. By the way, if you want the top 10 best YouTube Shorts niches handpicked by me, that's a little bit of a bonus if you join the one-on-one mentorship. No pressure, let's continue with the video. All right, so the next part of this roadmap is arguably one of the most important part of YouTube Shorts creation, and that is script writing. If you're really good at making scripts, you can literally make anything interesting. So this part of the roadmap is going to go over how to make good scripts, how to target viewers' emotions, and how to generate them with AI. Let's start with the easiest part. This is for beginners who don't know how to write scripts at all, is you're going to want to take your competitors' scripts. So if you just rip off your competitors' scripts, this is actually illegal on YouTube. Your video is just going to get shadow banned. It's not going to get pushed out. And it's just a very lazy way of making your content. And you're probably never going to get pushed into the algorithm if you use this method. So instead, what you're going to want to do instead is copy the YouTube link of the short that you want to kind of copy the script of. Then you're going to want to take the link you copied and go to comb.ai. This is the link for it. You guys can go to it. It's comb.ai/tools/YouTube transcript generator. Then you just paste the link right into here and click generate. Once you put the link in there and click generate, it's going to give you the entire transcript. All you got to do is copy it. Now the next part is remaking the script. Like I mentioned earlier, if you just take the script and then fully copy it, your video is not going to get pushed. It's going to get shadow banned. So what you're going to want to do is take the transcript that we got, and I highlighted some of the words that I changed in it. You don't got to change like a whole bunch. You can just change a few, and this will make the video original. And also this will protect your channel from getting demonetized or not accepted into monetization later on. Also, a lot of beginners, what they do is they just go to ChatGPT and they essentially train it to give them the scripts that they want to have. But what I realized is ChatGPT cannot make good scripts to save their life. So I wouldn't rely on ChatGPT to make scripts for you, even if you're editing them down. What I would do instead, if you have bad English, is first make the script yourself and then go to ChatGPT and ask it for some advice. And don't copy the advice it gives you, but just take it into consideration and add just small parts of it. But yeah, don't use AI to make your scripts because it just makes them so bad. And a lot of people, they do that. and that's why their videos don't blow up. Even some of my friends do this, and they're like wondering, hey, why are my videos in 1,000 views? Why are they stuck at 2,000 views? I'm like, because you make your scripts with AI. Guys, you just got to learn how to do scripts. This is the hardest part, but it is the most rewarding. Once you get good at making scripts, you can literally make anything go viral. So take the time, learn how to make scripts, and thank me later. So here's a viral script formula I actually created, and it is kind of based off the Pixar movie formula. I created this myself a few months ago, and I've actually had a lot of people tell me that it's really good, and I've actually been able to pull crazy retention with these. So essentially, it's very simple, but it's very effective. All you want to do for the beginning is have a hook, okay? For the hook, you want to have a bold statement. Here's an example. You can start with you. So you can target the viewers. Say something like, you probably didn't know this. Okay, that's already pretty interesting. The next thing you can do is like, this person, or a celebrity. Let's say you're talking about a celebrity, like, Marlon did this, or this person did the craziest thing. Okay, you gotta get it. Just talk about a specific person or just a random person, okay? Or you can do a statement like, this is the craziest thing, or this is the coolest item, something like that, okay? So once you have the hook, you're going to want to go straight into the storyline, okay? You want your hook to be essentially one sentence long, and that one sentence should tell the viewer what the whole entire video is about. Because if your hook is like 2 or 3 sentences long, people are just going to get bored and scroll away. So try to keep your hooks one sentence long, not any longer. Okay, so now we go into the storyline part of the video. You're going to want to use the because, but, so, repeat method, okay? I kind of made up this method. I just watched so many YouTube shorts, and this is what I saw that they had so much in common, is that they used this method, and I wrote down what so many YouTube shorts used, and I came up with the because, but, so method. So this is how it works. After you say the hook, you have to give them more context. So when you say the word because, this actually gives the viewer more context. Because after you say because, you start explaining things, right? So you can say, this person has the craziest beard because he was growing it out and wanted to win the world title for the longest beard in the world, okay? Something like that. And then after that, you want to go to but, okay? But is a good word because it's like a plot twist word. Once you say the word but, it creates conflict, okay? Once you say the word but, it creates conflict. And you want to say conflict because later on you want to resolve it. Because if you create conflict, the viewer will stay until you resolve it. So after you say but, we're going to be like, but after he was growing his beard, it caught on fire. And then right after you say that, you say so, because so will resolve the story and it will progress the story. So then you'd be like, so he ran over to his kitchen and pulled out his fire extinguisher and started taking it out, right? And then you just say but again. You just add another plot twist. Now you can be like, but he clicked the thing on the fire extinguisher, I forgot to say it, and it didn't work. And then you're like, wait, there's more conflict. So then you say so again. So he ran over to his sink and turned on the water, or something like that. And let's say that's where the plot twist ends, that's where the story ends. You want to go straight into the CTA, cut off the entire video. If there's no more plot twists in the story that create tension, you want to end the video and go straight into the call to action. So what you can do for the call to action is like a simple, if you think this, then subscribe. Or like, if this surprised you, you know what to do, okay? So let's say about the beard video we were talking about, you can be like, if you think this guy's beard is crazy, then subscribe, or something like that, right? That's pretty simple. So yeah, every time you use but and so, you create conflict, tension, curiosity loops, many cliffhangers. It forces the brain to keep listening because the story never lands until the very end. And that's why at the very end, you want to stop the video and just go with the CTA and try to make the ending as short as possible to keep the retention. So yeah, that's the viral script formula I personally came up with. So try it out for yourself. A lot of people say it's not as simple as it sounds, but if you get good at this, you can make literally any video blow up. Okay, so in your videos, you want to target the viewer's emotions. So for the fake story that I just came up with about the beard, I would say that would target like fear, anxiety, or even surprise, because like his beard like caught on fire, so that's like pretty extreme, right? You can also rage bait your audience and make them angry, or you can share something nostalgic like an old Minecraft video, or you can even make the viewers curious, show them something that they've never seen before. You can make a funny video like a meme, make a meme compilation that will make them laugh, or even brain rot. Show something satisfying on screen if you're doing rant clips. That's why a lot of rant channels, they use satisfying videos on the screen because it's just satisfying and it just keeps the retention up. And also you want to surprise the viewer. I would say that's the fake script that we made. It kind of targets to surprise because like a long beard and like it catching on fire is pretty surprising, right? So these are some emotions you want to target. There's a lot more emotions. Just remember, when you're making a video, keep in mind, what emotion am I targeting in this script? Every script should at least target one or more emotions. The more emotions, the better. So after you get good at script writing, you definitely do not want to get shadow banned, right? So here's some forbidden words you should never use in your scripts. You should never have like an external link on your screen in a YouTube short, because YouTube will not push a video that pulls viewers off the platform, because they see that you're putting a script on your screen and people are going to be clicking off the video. They don't want that. They want people to be on their platform and watching videos, right? The next thing you're not going to want to put in your scripts is sensitive words. Here's a lot of different words. I'm not going to say them, but you can take a screenshot if you want. It's pretty simple. Just use your intuition. Don't use any sensitive words. But here's some other things you're not going to want to say in your script. These are a little bit less logical, but you're not going to want to use free because it's like too promising. Don't put giveaway. I mean, you can if it's like a long form video, but don't make it like seem too good to be true, basically. Don't do win money because this is also too good to be true. Don't do anything that seems like a scam or too good to be true. All right, that's basically it. All right, so let's say you're bad at speaking English, or your voice is just kind of depressing and you can't really enunciate your words. Use an AI voiceover. This is personally the settings I use. Just use max, deep, and crisp. I make the speed 1.14, 80% stability, 80% similarity, and 30% style exaggeration. You guys can screenshot this, use it for later. But yeah, all you need to do is go over to 11labs.io, okay? Then you go over to text to speech, and this is the voice I use that I mentioned earlier, max, deep, and crisp. You can use any one you want, but personally, this is my favorite one. You put in your script, make sure it actually has punctuation and stuff like that, or the script is just gonna sound like absolute nonsense. And for each account, you get 10,000 free remaining credits, and you don't need to pay unless you run out of these. And then you just generate the speech. Sometimes it sounds really wacky, but you're just going to want to generate it until it actually sounds normal. Also, you can adjust the settings if they don't work for you, but for me, this is personally the ones that I use. Okay, that's everything you need to know about script writing. Let's move on to editing and the structure of your video. All right, so the next part of this roadmap, a lot of people overhype and say it's the most important part of making shorts. And honestly, editing is one of the most important parts, but I would say it is probably the second or third most important, because script writing, I would say, is the most important part, also the niche. But anyways, let's just get into the editing and structure and what you should do, what not to do, and how to make good edits. All right, so number one is you want to be layer stacking. You want to be using all your layers for your advantage. The best shorts always stack layers at the same time. The main footage, text layers, sound layers, music, sound effects, zooms, tracking, effect layers, and overlays. And I'm going to show every single layer you should be using for your advantage when you are making a YouTube short. Okay, let's just start with the main footage. So in this ranking video, the first thing that's on the timeline is obviously the main footage. So that would be this video right here, then the second video right here, and then the third video. This is all considered the main footage, okay? So after you have your main footage, once you put it in your video, you just want to clip it down. So for this video, there wasn't that much to clip. I think I clipped this video a little bit right here, and then these videos just fully play through. And then I had the text layers. In this short, I actually had a lot of text layers. All the text layers right here are the orange ones. So the first thing I added was the ranking funniest cat pranks, right? So here's an example of text layers. Also, the 1, 2, and 3, I had to make gold, silver, and bronze. And this was also part of the text layer. And then I added the cat mask, cat got jealous, and then dumbest prank ever text layer. So these are all examples of text layers that you can use to enhance your shorts. I had one sound effect in this video. Usually if I was doing AI commentary, I would have a lot more sound effects, but this niche right here, it's very lazy. It's very easy to do. So that's why I only added one sound effect. Also, I added music to the very last clip because as you can see on the actual wavelengths, there's like no sound to it at all. So I added a background song to the very last clip just because it was a little bit boring. Okay, now let's talk about zoom layers and tracking. So let's say I want to track and zoom when this cat jumps onto the owner that is pranking him, right? So what I would do is you want to go over to this button right here and click transform, okay? So after you click transform, just go a few layers where he jumps onto him right here, right? You want to go a few frames forward and then click another time on the transform keyframe. Then you zoom in and then move so the cat is centered, just like this. Then you just click your arrow keys again and move, and now boom. Now I need to zoom in a little bit closer, just like that. Then you just keep doing that and it'll automatically place the transform keyframes. So now I'm going to zoom out just a little bit and keep doing it. See, now the cat is not really centered, so I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more just so he keeps centered, just like that. But honestly, for ranking, I wouldn't do zooms, but I'm just doing this as an example. But I would definitely use zooms in like AI commentary, or if you're just doing normal short videos. I'm going to zoom out a little bit again, just like that, and then I'll show you guys what the zoom and tracking looks like. See, it just makes it a little bit more engaging, but obviously for this, it doesn't really make that much sense to do zooms because they have these black bars over here. So only use zooms for videos that are actually like full screened. That's what I would do. And then what else you can do is add effect layers like motion blur, shake, flashes, highlights, etc. So let's say you want to transition to the next one. What I would do is click on animation, and then you can use a lot of free ones. My favorite one is to go to basic, and you can do swing bottom right. And I would just make it 0.3 seconds, and this just makes the screen shake a little for the next clip. But in order to do that, you need to go back to sound effects and add a sound layer. So in CapCut, they actually have built-in sound effects. So you can just go to audio, and then you can go to sound effects and just look up camera. I looked up camera shutter, and let's see what sound effects it gave us. So yeah, it gave us a camera click sound effect. So I'm going to put it over the transition and just make it a little bit louder. And now it's going to sound like this. And you can see it kind of like made like a click sound. If you want a better sound effect, I would definitely download it online. Just look up camera shutter sound effect, because this one is kind of trash, but maybe we can try the other one too. Yeah, this one is also good. We can actually stack it. Also, make sure you guys stack your layers because it makes it just sound a lot better. So after you add your sound effects, another thing you can do to enhance it is add a riser right before the sound effect. So I'm going to go ahead and look up riser. So this is a bad example of a riser. I put a riser right here, but this riser sound effect is so bad. But obviously you're going to want to find a normal riser sound effect. This one is horrible. I wouldn't use the CapCut catalog. It's just, I just got this new PC, guys, so I don't have any of my sound effects on here. But normally I would just go on Google, download a normal riser. I'm not doing it for this video because I am low on time to record it. But definitely get yourself a good riser. But here's what it sounds like with this goofy riser. Yeah, it would sound like that. It would sound better with a normal riser, but it like rises and then it cuts off to the transition. So that's how you use sound effects and effect layers to enhance your videos. You can also do other stuff like motion blur or highlighting certain things. But for this, just stick to good transitions. So for this example, we're gonna get a sticker of... Alright, so the next thing we're gonna talk about is overlays. And for this part, we're gonna talk about arrows, because arrows is a very good part of overlays. So we're gonna go ahead and grab an arrow that's already in here. Let's just grab this one. I think it looks kind of clean. And I'm gonna show you how to make arrows track certain stuff. So let's say we wanna track when this cat jumps on him, right? So all you gotta do, it's gonna be the same exact thing how we did for the tracking, except we're gonna do keyframes for the arrow. So you wanna do a beginning keyframe, and we're gonna rotate it and make it a little bit smaller and point it at the cat. Now we hold the arrows and keep moving it. And we can also make it smaller and keep rotating it and do it right here. We're gonna rotate it again. Make it smaller, keep rotating it. Rotate it again. Keep rotating it and making it bigger. like that. And then when you want it to cut, you can just click split and delete the rest of it. And this is what a overlay with tracking would look like. Do you see how it tracked him the entire time? That's how you want to make a good overlay. You can also do this with text. You can put a text above someone's head, or you can even put emoji above someone's head just to express that's like of something that's in the video. You can even put a circle. But yeah, for stuff that pop up like this, I would either add a pop sound effect, a ding sound effect, or a click sound effect. Yeah, so that's basically all you want to do for layer stacking. Just use all the layers to your advantage. I would have a minimum of 3 layers on the timeline at all times. That's how you keep the video engaging, and that's what you do to keep retention. Also, never leave a still frame for more than 1.5 seconds. I know this sounds kind of self-explanatory, but I know a lot of people who like leave a frame for like 5 seconds that's just still. It has no zooms, it has no panning, it has no tracking. It's just like it looks like a slideshow. It doesn't even look like a YouTube short. Make sure you never leave a still frame for more than 1.5 seconds. All right, let's go to pacing rules. So for the hook, you want instant action. Start with like a quick cut. All right, so when the hook just starts, you want to drop the sauce of the video, okay, right in the beginning of the video. And for this to work out, you're going to want to follow the script rules we had earlier about making the intro 1 sentence long. And once you have an intro that's 1 sentence long, it's going to be a lot easier to edit. You're not going to have to add so much effects to it. It's going to be more about what the script is doing. Then for the build up, you want to start zooming into stuff. So let's say you have a character, zoom into the character and start tracking on him, and have a new angle every couple seconds. You always want to switch clips every other second, okay? And then whenever there's an important keyword on your text, you want to highlight it. We're going to talk about highlighting your captions a little bit later in the video. But yeah, whenever you have an important word on screen, make sure to highlight the color of the text. All right, so for the payoff of the video, when the video is ending, you're going to want to start doing slow zooms, start emphasizing the sound effects, and show the twist. Also, what you can do to boost the retention at the very end of the video is end with the same exact frame you had for the first 0.1 second of the video. This will make a seamless loop. Let me give you guys an example. So if I took this video, then copy and pasted it and put it at the end, obviously this is not going to be good, but it's just an example. And then I dragged it back and split it and then placed it at the end of this video, it would be a seamless loop. It would be like this. And then I would play it again and it would start from the beginning. You see that? Let me show you guys that again. And then see, that's where the video ends, and then it starts like that. And people would see that and it would be like a seamless loop. But obviously it wouldn't work for this video because they know how the clips are in order. But if you're in a different niche like AI commentary or rant niche, you can do this very well. Yeah, and for the end, how we talked about in scripts, you want to end with a verbal CTA and end the short right after, or loop it how we just talked about earlier. The goal is to keep the viewer retention flat towards the end so that they don't know when the video is about to end, because if they know that the video is going to end, it's just going to drop off fully. So make sure you end the video very fast or you make a loop. Also, if your shorts aren't blowing up yet, don't stress. Inside the mentorship, I literally edit with you, or have one of my editors fix your videos for you so that your YouTube shorts hit the algorithm. If you want that kind of one-on-one personalized help, apply down below. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue with cutting up the footage. So here's some rules you need when you are cutting up your footage. Never leave pauses. When you are cutting up your raw footage, make sure there's no pauses in between, like when someone is talking or when you're just looking at like a still frame. Make sure you always cut out the boring parts. You want to make the story flow. Always cut out the silences every single time. You want to make the story flow really well. And let's say there's something that's very important, like the main point of the video, leave it for the very end so that the payoff is at the very end of the video. Because you want to have the viewers to be curious till the very end. If you give the payoff at the very beginning, they have no point of watching for the rest of your video. So make sure when you're editing your video, you keep the important and fun part for the very end. Also, when you are cutting up your footage, trim everything by instinct. Your intuition is a lot better than you think. If your brain thinks this part is a little boring or slow, delete that part immediately. Never argue with your instinct or intuition. So yeah, when you're cutting up footage, always leave out the boring part and save the most important part for the very end. And that's how you will skyrocket your attention. Okay, so now here's the very fun part. Captions. A lot of people mess up their captions, but I'm going to show you how to make them so good that people can't help but watch your entire video. So the first thing you're going to want to do is use one-word captions. You can either pre-make them or custom, and I'll show you how to do both. Okay, so here's a short that I was editing, and as you can see, the captions are pretty clean. It's just an animation that pops every single word. A lot of things I see people doing is popping like 3 words at a time, or 4 or 5, and people will have to read paragraphs instead of 1 word at a time. So let me show you how to make these type of captions. So if you're on CapCut, all you have to do is go over to text, and then you go to auto captions, and then click generate. All right, so after you generate your captions, it should look something like this. It's gonna be like paragraphs and paragraphs at a time, and you don't want that. What I said earlier is you wanna use one-word captions. So let me show you how to make them. So that people can't help but watch your captions. So you're gonna want to go to animation, then you're gonna click on captions. After that, you can choose any caption that has 1 word at a time. So it could be bounce out, or it could be color bounce. Color bounce is actually a really good one. I would use this one. It makes it so that 1 word pops up at a time. So yeah, this looks really clean, the 1 word at a time. But now let me show you how to do it if you don't have CapCut Pro, or you're on a different editing software where you don't have automatic captions. So if you're on a different editing software, or you don't have CapCut Pro, all you need to do is drag a text on here, and this will take a lot longer. So I would definitely recommend investing in CapCut, but if you don't have CapCut Pro, here's how you do it. So you're going to add a text layer. So the first word he said is this, and you're going to write this, and you're going to need to add each text. And then you're going to have to go zoom into the timeline and see when he says the next word. Then he said is right here, so we're going to split that. Now, then he said the right here, so you're going to want to write the. And then he said next right here, and then he said person right here. So now this is what it's going to look like. It looks something like that. And now you can just drag it into the middle, and let me show you how to make an animation for them. So you're going to want to click on the caption itself and scroll down to transform. You're going to click a transform keyframe, and for the first frame you're going to want to make it small. Then you're going to want to go a few frames forward on your arrow keys, then add another keyframe, and this time you're going to want to make it bigger. Then you go a few frames forward, add another keyframe, and then make it normal size. So now this is what it's going to look like. As you can see, this first one had like a pop animation. And you're gonna have to do that to every single text, or you can just copy, and you're gonna have to click Control C and then copy it to the next one, and then just do is, and then you can just keep copy and pasting this one that we made earlier. And you're gonna have to do that for every single one. So that's why I would definitely recommend to get CapCut Pro instead. It just makes your life a lot easier, and you don't have to spend hours on making captions. All right, so for the next thing for captions is you don't want to make them too big or too small. A lot of people make their captions way too big or so small that you can't even read them. Because people think when you're watching on YouTube Shorts, you can't see your captions, so they make them like so big that they just block the entire video. But that's not true. You can actually make them smaller than you think. I would keep it around centered, and if you go to CapCut, I would make the scale around 100 through 75%. And honestly, I would just keep it around original size, and that should be good. You don't want to make it like this big, or also you don't want to make it like that small. What you can do is also click on this button right here, and it'll preview what it'll look like on YouTube Shorts. So see, I feel like this is too big, and that's how big the like button and like battery size would be. So just make it a little bit smaller. I feel like that's the perfect size right there.
Don't act like you were never cheating.
Yeah, but see, when he says even a bigger word, when he says cheating, that still looks too big. So we can make it even smaller like that. Honestly, I think that is the perfect size right there. Also, make sure you use the same font in every single video, because if you have good branding, you will have repeated traffic. A lot of mistakes new creators do is when they're making videos, they use a different font or different style every single video. But you're just going to want to stick to the same font. For me, for example, I like to use the font Helvetica or TT4s. For my captions, I use TT4s Child Bold, but for my text, like on-screen text, I use Helvetica. But I always use TT4s Bold and I never switch it. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what font you use as long as it's actually readable. It just matters that you're using the same font and style every single video. Alright, so the next one isn't that important, but it definitely could help for retention, and that is you want to change your text color for important words. So let me go ahead and switch the animation to something that's the same color, and I'll show you how to just highlight words that you want to make a different color. So let's say I want to highlight the word act. I would just highlight it right there and change the color to like red. And by the way, this could also help with branding. You can just do the same color every time. What I used to do is I used to do green every single time, so it would be like this.
Don't act like you just showed up out of nowhere.
And I can do the same thing for nowhere. I can also make it light green, just like how I did earlier right there. So now it's going to be like this.
Don't act like you just showed up out of nowhere.
And you can just do this for all the important words. This will actually boost retention because people will like focus on those important words, and those are the important words that you have to listen to for the story of the video to make sense. Also, make sure you're creating contrast to make your captions as visible as possible. A good way to do that is to add stroke. So when you're in your captions, all you got to do is scroll down to stroke, click on it, and then add thickness. I usually like doing around 50, and this adds a black outline to the outside of your text so that they'll always be even more visible. This just makes it really good. Also, you can change the color of your text. Let's say your entire video is mostly white. I would make all your captions black. Or if most of your video is red, you can make your captions green. You always want to have like the opposite color captions, but I would always go just white with black outline because then it'll be visible in most situations. And then last thing is don't block important visuals with your captions. So let's say the entire video, there's like a subject who's in the middle. Let's say I put my captions like right there. You're not going to want to do that. Or let's say he's looking at this guy the entire video. Just put it a little bit higher. You don't want to block important things. That's why you also don't want to make them too big or too small. Keep it balanced and don't block any important visuals. Alright, so now let's talk about sound effects. More sound effects is not better, and louder is also not better. You want to have everything balanced. Some people, they just spam super loud sound effects and they're so obnoxious. You do not want to do that. You want to choose a clean sound effect for transitions, pop-ups, zooms, motions, and so on. Make your sound effects quieter than you think. Your sound effects should be a bonus to your video. They shouldn't distract from it. You want to make your sound effects enhance your video so they seem natural. So make sure you're making them pretty quiet. When you're editing with headphones, make sure you take them off after you're done and see how it sounds like through your phone. Also, don't make every sound effects the same for each motion. So let's say you have a transition that's like a whoosh. Don't make the same whoosh for every whoosh transition. Maybe you can do a deeper whoosh for the first one, then you can do like a faster one for the next one, but never use the same sound effects because then it just gets very repeatable and boring. Don't make your videos repetitive because that just makes the entire video boring and it crushes your retention. Using risers in the intro of your video is such a cheat code. Make sure you guys milk this because it's so good. So like after the first sentence of your video, you want to have a riser so then when you're So then when you're talking about the main plot of the video, that's where the riser ends, and then it cuts to the transition where you're talking about the main point of the video. But in the very intro of your video, always add risers. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about in the editing part is zooms, tracking, and keyframes. We already talked about zooms and tracking, but now we're going to talk about keyframes because keyframes are the #1 thing every single editor should learn. Keyframes are so important. You can literally do anything with keyframes. So make sure when you're taking your time editing, you want to learn as much as you can with keyframes. Like, let me just give you an example of what you can do with your keyframes. You can add a mask and then add a split, and then go like this, then click on keyframes right here, then go forward and go like that, and then it'll literally just like move your keyframe. You see that? You can do that with anything. You can even make transitions. You can add a circle mask, then you add a keyframe, and then you go a few frames forward and you open it all the way just like that, and then it'll look like this. It'll be like a transition. You can literally do anything with keyframes. Also, when the video is getting stale, you can literally just go to basic, click on scale, boom. Then you go a few keyframes forward and you zoom in. It'll just make your video just that much more interesting, just adding little zooms. Make sure you're always using keyframes in every single clip. Don't abuse them too much because it might make your video look messy, but definitely invest your time in learning them because keyframes will make your edits go from F tier to S tier. They're an absolute game changer. So make sure you're always using keyframes, always experimenting with them, and always learning. All right, now let's move on to posting settings. Let's first talk about the best time to post. So for most people, you're gonna be wanting to target the US audience, right? Because when you target the US audience, you're obviously going to be getting the most RPM because advertisers pay YouTube the most when they have mostly US audience. So in order to target the US audience to get that high RPM, make sure you're posting in times like 4 through 9 p.m. because that's when most of the US audience is on. And also for your videos to perform well, you don't want to spam them all in one time, because if you spam all your 3 shorts that you have for the day at one time, most likely they're all not going to get pushed. So make sure you're spacing them out. For example, you could do like one at 5 p.m., the next one at 9 p.m., and then one in the morning, like 7 a.m. And this will space them out so that you're more likely to get a push on every single short. Also, make sure to check your analytics. If you go over to your audience and see what time they are awake. So for example, my audience is mostly awake from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I would post during those times, and that's when I would get the most views. And let me show you how to check your audience time. All you got to do is head over to the YouTube studio. Then you want to click on analytics, and then you want to click on audience. Once you're on audience, scroll down and you should see this time graph. And where the brightest parts are, that's when your audience is the most active. So make sure you're posting when your audience is the most active, because that will make your first push a lot higher. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about posting time too much because your videos will still get pushed eventually. It's just when you post them when your viewers are actually online, it'll just get pushed faster. Okay, let's talk about title rules. When you're making a title, you want to use around 6 through 10 words. Okay, let me just give you an example. So, top 3 funniest basketball fails you have to see. And this is a pretty short title, but it's pretty good because it informed the viewers what the video is about. Top 3 and then funniest basketball fails you have to see. So it has a lot of elements in the title. So make sure you're using 6 through 10 words. Don't use too little, don't use too much. Just make the title what the video is about. Target emotion or curiosity. So in this, I did both. I mostly went for curiosity because I said you have to see. So now the viewers will be curious and they will see the video. Don't put any hashtags in the titles. And you don't have to put any emojis if you don't want to, but honestly, it's fine. I sometimes use emojis for my videos. It doesn't break the algorithm. I heard some people saying that if you put emojis, it'll lower your RPM, but I don't think that's true. You can use them if you want, it's fine. Also, make sure you keep the title clean, make it nice, just like this. You can see I capitalized every single word. I added exclamation points, and it just looks really clean and put together. And one more thing is you can fully capitalize important words. So let's say I want to put emphasis on funniest. I would capitalize every single letter in this word. By the way, one more thing you can do, this is fully optional, is you can use vidIQ to optimize your titles, and there's a lot more tools it can do. But right here, it has a score for how good your titles are. As you can see, this one is an 87 score. It also auto generates titles for you based on your videos, and you can refresh them and it will give you scores for each title. And right now you can grab a 30-day free trial for only $1. So if you want to, you can go to vidiq.com/Alex, or you can just scan this QR code right here. So yeah, make sure you guys check them out. They're awesome. Also, they have a lot of other things. You can check it out on the website. It'll all be there. But let's just continue with the video. I don't want to waste your time. All right, so now let's talk about the description. YouTube Shorts descriptions aren't too important, so I would just keep it simple. Put 1 line max in the description and don't add any keyword stuff. There's really no point. I would just put hashtag shorts in the description. That's how I do all my videos. Some of my shorts get like 25 million views, and all that's in the description is hashtag shorts. So It's not really important. You can literally put anything you want. Just don't like spam hashtags in the description, because that's dumb. That's not going to fix your views. You don't have to put a million hashtags in your descriptions. You don't have to make a whole paragraph. It's fine. Just put one hashtag and you'll be chilling. Keep it simple. Simple is good. All right, so now a lot of people ask me, yo, how often should I post? So there's actually a different answer for every single person. So if you're a beginner or you just made your channel, I would do 1 video a day just to let your videos breathe. Once you actually start hitting the algorithm, start doing 2 a day. This is what I would recommend for an average person who has like an average amount of time. They're going to school or they have a job and they don't have that much time. I would do 2 a day. If you're serious about if you're serious about YouTube Shorts or you have editors, I would start posting 3 or 4 shorts every day. For me personally, I do 3 shorts a day. It's a good spot, and I've been doing 3 shorts a day for a long time, and it's been getting me 40 million views a month from posting 3 shorts a day, which is an average of about 1 million or more every day. But over all of this, make sure you're consistent, because if you're posting 4 times a day one day and then 0 times a day the next day, that's really bad. So make sure you're consistent, because the algorithm rewards and loves consistency. But also the good thing about posting 3 or 4 times a day is that when you have a lot of volume, you also have a lot of data. So you're able to see which videos that you posted are good. So then you can take those lots of posts that you did and just take out all the good ones that you post. And then you can just look at all the shorts that performed well and repeat those. That's why uploading at such a high volume is good, because then you can see all the outliers and then you can start repeating that. Then going viral will be easy. All right, now let's talk about what mistakes you should avoid when you're posting your video. So don't use clickbait titles. Shorts viewers hate being lied to, okay? And I'm pretty sure you hate being lied to. Everyone hates being lied to. It's just the obvious thing. Don't make it clickbaity, because if people click on your video and then they see it's not what it's about, they're just gonna click right off. Just make it what the video's about, and you can just enhance it, make it a little bit exaggerated, but never clickbait your titles, okay? That's literally so dumb. Don't post blurry clips. Even a little bit of bad quality will destroy your retention, okay? You want to make sure you're posting at 1080p, 30 through 60 frames per second, okay? Don't post no 480p or 720p. That's literally the worst thing you can do for your shorts, because viewers love seeing high quality clips and they hate seeing non-crispy videos, okay? And don't use overly long captions, okay? Like I said earlier in the caption part of this video, if you have like freaking paragraphs on your videos, people are just gonna be like flooded with like so much like captions right in their face, and they're gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna scroll. Long paragraphs equals instant swipe off your videos, okay? Make sure you have that one word at a time. That's just so crispy, so clean, and it keeps retention very high. Don't upload with low volume. A lot of people have quiet voiceovers on their videos. You gotta boost that up. In the editing software, you can like slide up your volume, make it like +3 or 4. That's the perfect. I usually do +3 through +5. It's just perfect. But make sure you're also listening to the video so that it's actually loud. You want to make it louder than you think, because if it's too quiet, people are going to be scrolling. There's a lot of loud videos that's engaging. It's like in their face, and they scroll into a quiet video. They're like, oh, whatever, this is a boring video. Then they just scroll. So make sure you're making it loud, okay? It's better to have it a little bit too loud than too quiet. So next tip is for those people who are super dedicated. Do not spam upload 20 shorts at once, okay? I get it. You have motivation. You're watching courses, you're watching videos, and you're like, okay, time to lock in with YouTube Shorts. You get on your editing software, you start editing like 20 videos at once. You go hit upload all of them, boom, they all 0 view jail. And the problem is not in your content. You just don't know how to post. You got to post, like I said, when you're new, post 1 time a day. Then when your account actually starts getting pushed, post 2 through 4 times a day. That is the sweet spot. But make sure you're posting quality videos. Don't post trash. Yeah, so spreading them out gives them more time to breathe and more time to get pushed. Another thing is don't change your niche daily, okay? If you start posting in your niche and you see it's not popping off after 3 or 4 days, don't worry, that's normal. It's gonna take a few weeks for your niche to actually pop off. Your videos won't pop off in 2 days unless they're insanely good retention. But if you're having average AVD and average retention, most likely it's going to take a few weeks for your videos to actually start getting picked up by the algorithm. So yeah, Don't change your niche just because it's not popping off in the first 2 days of you posting. A lot of people are like, oh, dude, I posted for 3 days in a row. It's not working. I'm going to quit. Don't do that. It takes months, especially if you're new. The last tip is to not delete unperforming videos. Sometimes, even in my experience, it takes weeks for your videos to blow up. Once I was about to delete this video that got like 10,000 views, and I'm so glad I didn't delete it because then it ended up being my most viral video and it brought me like $1,400 just from that video. So when you're posting videos, unless it gets like 0 view jailed, do not delete it and then repost it, okay? Just leave it be. Focus your energy on posting other shorts, okay? Just focus on the inputs, not the outputs. Don't focus on the views, don't focus on the revenue, don't focus on the statistics. Just focus on what you can do to make your shorts better, to post more often, and to keep posting and keep being motivated to keep posting, all right? The main goal is to improve and be consistent. By the way, if your views always hit the same 30,000 view jail, it's not you, it's your system. I diagnose this with every student and show them exactly what is killing their videos. Apply down below if you want me to look at yours. By the way, here's one of my channels that pulled me $10,000 in not that long of a time, and it's because I was consistent, okay? When you just start, you can even see here that when I just started, I think I was earning like $1 a day, okay? And I didn't let this demotivate me. I was like, it actually motivated me. I was like, okay, if I'm making $1 a day from 30,000 view jail, I wonder how much I'm gonna be making once I'm gonna be pulling millions of views. So I kept being consistent, and then boom, just like that, $100 a day, $200 a day. And then I kept going and going. Sometimes it would go down to $50 a day, but then eventually, boom, $800 a day. I'm like, yo, what? $800? That's absolutely insane. And no, this is not fake. This is real life, dude. I used to think making money on shorts was for special people, but it's not. You just gotta lock in, be consistent, and you can achieve anything, okay? I say it with all my heart. You can literally achieve anything as long as you're consistent and you believe in yourself. Also, here's another channel that I literally spent 5 minutes a day on, and this is the first month of it being monetized. I know it's only $980, but it's gonna scale soon to making $980 probably every day. So yeah, I was able to monetize this channel right here in 30 days using all the strats that I showed in this video. So let's continue on. Okay, let's go to my favorite part. Mindset. We're going to talk about what you need to fix in your mindset to finally escape your negativity and actually start going viral, okay? You got to put in the work to see the results. Let's start talking about focusing on what can go right. Imagine someone laid a wooden board on the floor, okay? And they told you to walk across it. You would probably be able to walk across that board 1,000 times without failure. Now, if you took that same exact board and put it on top of a skyscraper and he told you to walk across it, you would probably start thinking of everything that can go wrong. You would probably be like, dude, what if I fall? I'm gonna die. What if I trip? I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow. And you start thinking of every single thing that can go wrong. But you were able to do it 1,000 times without failing. So what changed here? It's not that it's super high up. What changed is your mindset. Nothing about the board changed. Just the story in your head did. Your fear isn't based on your ability. It's based on your imagination. So when you're starting YouTube shorts, don't focus on, oh, what if I get 0 views? What if I get 30,000 view jail? What if this happens? What if that happens? Focus on, dude, what if I get monetized? What if I earn my first $100 in a day? What if I earn my first $1,000 in a week, dude? What if I hit 10 million views? If you start thinking positive and focus on everything that can go right, everything will go right because your brain will encourage you to keep working, and eventually you will hit the algorithm and you will get monetized and you will start earning. You just got to change your mindset. Another thing you have to realize is that not every opportunity is a scam. I used to think that every course or every product online to make you better at posting shorts was a scam, or even any product at all. But when I stopped thinking every opportunity was a scam, that's when I started growing. If someone offered you the perfect opportunity right now, your first instinct would probably be it's fake or it's too good to be true. But that mindset is how most people stay broke. This is the truth. You've missed more chances by being scared than you ever did by being scammed. Remember, not everything is a scam. Yes, still be careful. There's a lot of scams out there, but not everything is. I'm not saying to be careless, guys. All right, let's talk about the most important thing that helped me. You want to start off your day with motivation, not some BS like, I'm perfect, I'm awesome. Here's a tip for you so that when you wake up, your brain immediately gets hit with motivation, gratitude, dopamine, momentum. When you wake up, think of the best thing that happened to you yesterday. If that was, you got a big paycheck, your video blew up, you landed your first client, you hit a new PR at the gym, someone complimented you, or something as little as you made a little bit of progress. Any of these. Once you start thinking of that one thing that you did yesterday, that one thing that you accomplished, your brain will instantly hit you with motivation and all these other things. And once that happens, your mind craves to start doing more and harder work to chase that same feeling that you're feeling right now. This tiny mindset switch literally rewires your brain for success. Just try it right now. Think of the best thing that happened to you yesterday, literally the smallest thing. Just think about it for a few seconds and now take action. The next thing we're gonna talk about is you don't need every single person to like you, right? When you're just starting YouTube Shorts, every person's gonna be like, dude, what if nobody watches my videos? What if I don't even get like 100 million views? Bro, you don't need every single person in the world to like you, okay? You only need a little bit of people. The WNBA has 10.8 million unique viewers every month. Right now, think of someone you know in real life who watches women's basketball. Probably no one, or maybe a few people, right? Maybe like me personally, I don't know any single person, none of my friends, none of my family, none of my relatives. Nobody I know watches women's basketball, right? And somehow they still pull in 10.8 million unique viewers every month. And you think that you won't be able to hit 1 million people to watch your content, 100,000 people to subscribe, 1,000 people to buy your product? You don't think you can hit that when even things like the WNBA are getting 10 million engaged views every month? And you can't even get this right here? To put that into perspective, 1 million people is only 0.01% of the world population. That's all you need to get 1 million views is 0.01 of the population. That's not that much. So stop worrying about the 99.9%. You only need the right 0.01%. When you're just starting out, you need to be prepared to fail, right? I'm not saying focus on the failure. I'm not saying wire your brain so that you know you're gonna fail. You still gotta think positively, but come up to failure positively, because failure is actually what's gonna help you grow. Because when you fail, you actually learn from it. And if you're not learning from failure, you're doing something wrong. Understand, every successful person had to go through the same thing that you are going through right now. TJR, Brez Scales, Andrew Tate, even me. I remember a few years ago, I had no clue what I was gonna do with my life. I was lost. I had no clue how I was gonna make money. And every single night I would stay up and I would just think and think. I was like, what am I gonna do for the rest of my life? But now, after all that failure of doing YouTube, after everything that I've done, I'm finally achieving it. Do you know why? Because I learned from my failures, and instead of crying every night or saying that this is not for me, I learned from it and took action and kept uploading. The sooner you accept failure, the faster you grow. That's just how it is. You can't succeed before failing. You can't succeed without failing at least a couple times. And the last mindset switch that you gotta activate is that consistency and action will beat everything. Let me just give you guys a quick thought. An idea that is executed instantly but is imperfect is better than an idea that is planned for a week later. So let's say you have an idea to make this YouTube short and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna write that down and I'm gonna plan to make it a week later. I'm gonna make a perfect short and it's gonna be awesome. But then you spend a whole week making that short, you post it, boom, it gets 10 views. But let's say when you had that idea, you spent 10 minutes on making a short and it also gets 10 views. Then right after that, you start working on another one and boom, that one gets 100 views. And you keep going and you keep going and you're consistent and you're not spending all that time aiming for perfection. You're eventually gonna start hitting thousands and then millions of views. And not because you were perfect, but because you were consistent. Being consistent and fast to action will win every single time. Remember, you can't lose if you never give up. If you quit now, everyone will be right about you. Prove them wrong. And remember, when you're consistent, you don't need to grind all day to make this work. It's about consistency. If you want me to help you build a posting schedule that fits your life and still scales, apply down below. All right, guys, you've made it this far. I'm very proud of you, but we still got one more thing to go through. and that is scaling and implementing what works. This is what separates good YouTube short posters and business thinkers. Remember, YouTube Shorts isn't a hobby, it's a business. Let's talk about analyze what's working. Remember, study swipe through rate. It's your #1 predictor of virality. All you really need to go viral is over 75% swipe through rate. I know some people say, oh, you got to get 80 or 85, but remember, if you're consistently pulling 75% or higher, you're eventually going to go viral. I guarantee it. But also, swipe through rate is nothing if it's not paired with retention. You also want to study your average view duration. High average view duration equals strong pacing. And this video right here got 400,000 views. And if we look at it, let's see why you think that video got only 400,000 views and not more. But also, why did it get up to 400,000 views? But what we can look at is it looks very flat right here. That's probably one of the reasons it spiked pretty high. But over here, you can see it dipped. If this stayed flat all the way at 120, this video would probably get like 30 or 40 million views. But no, the beginning is swiped down. What does that tell us? That means the intro wasn't that interesting. And that means that I could have kept viewers longer in the intro. And if I did, this video would probably have 10 times more views. So remember, make sure you're studying your graph because it will tell you a lot about your videos. What this graph tells us is that we need to work on our intros. Remember, study retention graphs and find drop-off points. And this is how I was able to scale my channel to 8K in less than 2 months by literally just studying my retention graphs and swipe through rate. And that's also how I was able to get 67 million views in less than 2 months. And that's just on one of my shorts channels. Right now, I'm running 3. Next thing you want to do is repeat your winning content. If a format pops off for you, then make 20 versions of it. Reverse engineer the same exact formula. Let's say you got a video with 20 million views. You want to recreate the hook, pacing, emotion, script style, editing style, and sounds. Because people make the mistake of trying something new too early on. Let's say a system is working for you, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna try something new, and then your views start going down. What's the point? If something is working for you, just continue doing it until it stops working. If it works, milk it until the audience gets tired of it, then change it up. Here's an example. This video right here got 12 million views, and it's about a wrestling video. And then I recreated it almost 1-to-1, but just with a different type of video. And it also got 6 million views. And just because of that, both of these videos combined generated me around $2,000, and it only took me 30 minutes of work. So remember, if a video goes viral, just repeat it. It's the easiest way to make even more money and more views. Once you understand the system, you're not relying on luck anymore. Inside my mentorship, I help you build the exact workflow I use for my own channels. If you want that for yourself, links in the description. Okay, so now let's talk about what to do after you repeat your success so much and milk your videos that your viewers get bored of you milking your videos. So now you gotta find something new. So now we're gonna talk about testing new formats fast. So viral formats die after 2 to 3 weeks of you milking them. It takes time to find the next one. That's why YouTube Shorts usually works in spikes. And it's not flat. You need to post in very high volume to find a new viral format. Every upload you do after your views die is an experiment. The amount of times you post multiplies your chances. You must get comfortable with trial, error, and then reinventing the wheel. Most creators wait for inspiration. Winners test until success appears. So remember, when you're done milking that viral format and your videos aren't getting views anymore, you're gonna want to post so much so that finding that next viral format only takes a few weeks. So then you can keep repeating that one over and over again. So this next step is what took me from earning 4 figures to 5 figures a month. You're gonna want to multiply your channels. 1 channel equals limited growth. 3 channels equals triple views, triple data, and triple revenue. Each channel runs on the same system, but a different niche. You can do gaming, brain rot memes, ranking videos, gym, clips, even rant videos. Multiple channels equals multiple channels of income. So remember, if you feel like one of your shorts channels is getting stuck, you're only earning a few couple $100s a week, just make another channel. If you know what you're doing, it won't take you long to monetize another one. So then you can have twice the income and twice the comfort. Once you start getting views on one channel, that's when you scale. New niches, new channels, new income streams. If you want me to map out your multiple channel plan, apply down below. The next thing you're going to want to do And this is the most important one, and it's the very last thing we're going to talk about in this video. The next thing you're going to want to do is the very most important step of this entire course video. You're going to want to turn your channels into a business. This is how I only spend 20 minutes a day to run all my channels. You're going to want to hire editors to free up your time. Once you're already earning income from your channels, it's not that hard to find editors who are pretty cheap and will give you good quality. You're going to want to teach your editors your system and your content rules like pacing, caption style, sound effects, and how you keep your attention up. After you teach your editors how you edit, this will make your life 10 times easier. You can start focusing on other things like building your own personal brand or making even more shorts channels. You're gonna start spending only 20 minutes a day on your shorts channels because your editors deliver everything. Your only job is to upload and then analyze. Treat YouTube like a business and then it will pay you like one. By the way, this is Ethan, and just a few months ago, he was struggling to get anything consistent. And now he just hit 84 million views in a single month on one channel. To put that into perspective, that Shorts Mastery member you saw in the beginning of the video made over $8,000 from just 34 million views. So you can only imagine how much 84 million views pays you when you're running the right monetization system behind it. Alright, so now you've seen the whole breakdown, how the Shorts model works, how to find niches that go viral, how to edit properly for retention, and how to start scaling once the views start coming in. This exact strategy took me from a broke 16-year-old who couldn't even get a part-time job to running multiple channels that pull millions of views and pay me thousands a week. And look, I know how it sounds. You're probably thinking, yeah, but this takes heaps of time, special editing skills, or crazy equipment. But honestly, it really doesn't. You can do this with a phone or preferably a laptop, a few hours a week, and the right guidance. You don't need to show your face. You don't need a team. You don't need expensive software. When I started, I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't some editing genius. I didn't understand the algorithm. I didn't even know what niche I should pick. I just followed a simple system that made sense and stuck with it. And that's what I teach. Systems, not luck. Clarity, not guessing. Structure, not uploading random videos and hoping one goes viral. For the people who say YouTube Shorts is too saturated, those same exact people were saying that years ago. And creators like you and me are still getting tens of millions of views per month. Short form isn't slowing down, and it's not going to anytime soon. It's growing faster than any other format in the world. It's not about being early anymore. That's too late. It's about doing it properly with a strategy, not just posting random videos hoping one hits. Everything you've seen in this video is what I personally use. The same steps that helped me go from 30,000 view jail to building a predictable system that scales across multiple channels. Now I want to show you how to directly apply this to your channel with my help. Introducing Shorts Mastery Circle, my 180-day one-on-one mentorship designed to take everything you learned in this video and implement it properly so you can actually break out of your plateau and grow real income from YouTube. This program is built to remove the confusion, the guessing, and the wasted 30,000 view jail uploads that make most people quit and never see the real upside of this business model. Inside, you get a proven framework, not random advice, and I personally guide you through everything step by step, so you are never wondering what to do next. Here's how it works. Number 1, diagnose and direction. We start by breaking down your channel properly, not generic advice, not try better hooks. We fix your pacing, angles, retention gaps, niche clarity, everything that is killing your growth right now. If you haven't started yet, 100% fine. We will start from scratch together. Number 2, build your shorts system. We create your posting rhythm, editing style, hook templates, niche, and channel setup. You stop posting random videos and start following a repeatable machine. Number 3, fast monetization. We get your channel monetized as fast as possible. No waiting for months, waiting for a miracle to happen. You'll use the same method my students used to get paid early and consistently. Number 4, multi-channel scaling. Once you're monetized, we multiply. More channels, more income streams, more systems running at once. This is how you compound views and income long term. Number 5, daily and weekly accountability. This is where real results happen. Every week I review your channel, your uploads, your analytics, your pacing, everything. When you drift, I pull you back. When something isn't working, we fix it instantly. I give you winning niches, angle ideas, how to edit properly, and even my editors can edit your videos if you want. Plus, you'll have my personal phone number, so you can text me any time of the day. This is why people grow here. When you mix a proven strategy with real accountability, results stop being possible and start becoming inevitable. And just so you know, this isn't theory. These are some of my current students. Ethan, Caleb, Lucas, they all started where you are right now, stuck, guessing, unsure what to fix. Then they followed the system and the numbers started flying. This program isn't for everyone, so let me be upfront. If you're looking for shortcuts, if you avoid feedback, if you want to stay where you are in the 30,000 view jail, this isn't for you. But if you're tired of being stuck in the same view range, tired of guessing, tired of wondering why your videos die, and you want someone to show you exactly what to do, then build it with you every step of the way, then this is built for you. If you're coachable, consistent, and willing to follow a proven system, I can help you break out of the 30,000 view jail and build something real that pools millions of views daily and thousands a week across multiple channels. The same system that me and all my students are running. So if you're sitting there and thinking, I could do this, I just need someone to guide me properly, that's exactly what this mentorship is for. Click the link below and apply. I personally review every application, look at your situation, and if it makes sense, we'll build your channel together and get your numbers scaling consistently. I only take a few students at a time because this is a real one-on-one mentorship. Like, I actually hop on calls with you and build everything together. So obviously I can't take on thousands of people. So if you want to work with me, don't wait until the next round fills up. This isn't a course where you watch videos and try to apply it all to yourself. This is hands-on, step by step, with someone who's already built multiple successful channels, walking you through what most people get wrong. If you're ready for the fastest, clearest path to getting out of your plateau and building a real income with YouTube Shorts, hit the link down below and apply. I'll see you inside.